What's going on, Dolphins fans? It's Connor from the Dolphins Dive, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the upcoming game, Miami Dolphins versus New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Without further ado, we're going to hop right into the video. Quick little plug to the DolphinsDive.com for the best Dolphins merch out there, though. So we're going to start with the Dolphins offense versus the Patriots defense, and this is going to be the true battle of the game. This is the Dolphins' strongest part of their team versus the Patriots' strongest part of their team in their defense. So I'm going to use the statistics, but they're literally based off of 1 week of football. Both the Dolphins and the Patriots both played good teams. So these numbers are not really a good representation, but I'm just going to start using them anyway to help tell the story a little bit. So the Dolphins offense is third in points per game. Patriots defense is 23rd. Dolphins are first in passing yards per game. Patriots are 10th. So both are strong in that category. So the passing game is going to be an interesting matchup to watch in this upcoming game. Dolphins are 27th in rushing yards per game, and the Patriots are 18th in rushing yards allowed. So, like I said, there's not a lot of weight into those numbers because they both played one game, but just interesting to keep an eye on. As for the Dolphins' keys of the game for their offense, there's not a lot that I can really add that's not obvious. Like, obviously, the Dolphins are going to use motion. I'm not going to use motion to get Tyreek Hill open. Like, Mike McDaniel's going to do that already. So if anyone has an idea for a new segment, feel free to comment down below, because I feel like some of the offensive keys get a little redundant or a little obvious. Biggest thing is, obviously, I want to say beat man coverage, but the Patriots are notorious for playing multiple defense. You think they're going to play this and they'll play something else. Every single week, they change how they play, and it's very interesting. Obviously, we saw it firsthand with Brian Flores' defense. So it could be beat man coverage, and they play a zone-heavy scheme. Obviously, New England is notorious for running heavy man coverage, so I'd expect to see that, but we also played that last week and absolutely decimated it. Now, once again, the Patriots are a different team than the Chargers. They're coached differently. It's a different scheme. So I'd expect more of how the Patriots traditionally play. But for the main offensive key of the game, I just have set up play action. Obviously, I would want the Dolphins to establish the run, but it seems like McDaniel doesn't give a fuck about pounding the ball. And on the flip of that, the Patriots are always a solid run defensive team. If the Dolphins come out in a heavy formation with two running backs, Alec Ingold and an actual back, they're going to come out in a heavy defense to stop that. But to counteract that, the Dolphins can go 5 wide because that's what they do. It's incredible what McDaniel does. He'll come out in 21 personnel, which is 2 backs, 1 tight end, and go 5 wide. I don't know how often any other team in the league does that. And then he'll absolutely torch the middle of the field with Tyreek or Waddle. And Bill Belichick's notorious for taking away a team's best player. In this instance, it would be Tyreek Hill. Good luck. If the way McDaniel uses him, I think it'd be hard enough for the Patriots to get rid of him for the game. Even if they manage to do that, that means they're going to be leaving Jalen Waddle one-on-one, and I like that all day, every day. Especially with the Patriots' defensive backs, I feel like they're the worst they've been in a minute, but there's some upcoming talent there. Obviously, there's one of their best corners, Jonathan Jones, is questionable for the game, but the Patriots players to watch defensively, obviously Matt Judon is a tremendous pass rusher. We've seen him for the past couple of years in the division. He's very good. Josh Uche, who doesn't get the love he deserves. He had 11.5 sacks last week. Or, not last week. That would be absurd. He had 11.5 sacks last year. Had a sack last week. I looked at the snap numbers. His snaps were kind of low, though, which was surprising. I'm curious why that is. My favorite person on the Patriots defense, obviously I don't like the Patriots, but Kyle Duggar is an absolute stud. Every single time we play them, he flashes, man. He's all over the field. He's extremely fast. He hits hard. He's always making plays. Shout out to Kyle Duggar. Christian Barmore, obviously from Alabama. I think he was out last year with a knee injury, if I'm not mistaken, but he's back, and I think he had a sack last week as well. He's a very good interior defensive lineman. And then Christian Gonzalez, their rookie, got a lot of snaps last week, and should be interesting to see how he develops as a player and if he's very good and how he matches up with some of our players. So that's it for the offense versus the Patriots defense. Now for the Patriots offenses versus the Dolphins defense. Both works in progress. Obviously, the Patriots hired Bill O'Brien as their offensive coordinator, which seems to have helped a lot. They put up a solid offensive performance against one of the best defenses in the league last week. Although the Eagles didn't look great against the Vikings, but it's still the Eagles. They have an incredible defensive line and just an overall very good team. Patriots offense is 18th in points per game. Dolphins defense is 29th. Patriots are 4th in passing yards allowed. Dolphins are 20th. Patriots are 23rd in rushing yards per game. The Dolphins are 22nd in rushing yards allowed, which is no surprise. Like I said, these numbers aren't really a full testament to the teams. It's based off 1 week. Adjustments are going to be made and things of that nature. It also depends on the opponents you play. So obviously the first defensive key is stop the run. Obviously the Dolphins couldn't do that last week. Should be interesting to see how Vic Fangio plans to improve. Obviously some of it's just players need to play better, without a doubt, especially with this scheme. What we saw last week is kind of how Vic Fangio likes to play. Like, he likes to play with a lighter box, meaning usually if the offense is showing a running formation or even on an early down, the defense will usually have at least 7 players in the box, and the Dolphins a lot of time we're having like 6. It's just because he likes to have 2 safeties back there, doesn't like to give up the big plays, and is willing to let the offense run for like 3 yards per carry. But we got gashed a couple times, and we just have to be more consistent at being able to stop it on a down in, down out basis. So it should be interesting to see the kind of changes Vic makes to help stop the run. Second defensive key, make Mac uncomfortable. Obviously, I feel like we've seen it as Dolphins fans. When you get pressure on Mac, he's not as good. Forces errant reads and bad decisions. So that's most quarterbacks, but I feel like we've seen it more often recently with Mac Jones against the Dolphins. And then last but not least, no big plays. I don't expect the Patriots to hit any deep shots over our defense. Like I said, how Vic Fangio likes to play. But last week, the Patriots ran a lot of screen plays. We saw last week against the Dolphins, we let up a humongous run. Just don't let them get a free quick 7 points, because their offense, they don't have a lot of talent. Like, if they dink and dunk down the field, make them earn it. But don't give up a big free play, which I don't think they will, but just, like I said, don't let it happen. Players to watch for the Patriots offense, it's not that good of a team. Like, they don't have a lot of skill on offense. And I think there's a whole debate going on Twitter about Mac Jones versus Josh Allen, which seems like a joke to me, but people are serious. Mac Jones really hasn't been done any favors. His best receiver is like Devontae Parker. Like, if this offense had a top receiver, I think it'd benefit them a lot. But players to watch for the Patriots offense, I have Ramondre Stevenson and Hunter Henry. Obviously, they added Mike Gesicki. They have Ezekiel Elliott. They have some players, but no one that really like instills fear into the defense. So, like I said, this is an offense that's going to be on rhythm, on schedule. They don't really have big explosive players that are going to really call for a ton of attention. So it should be interesting to see how this offense operates against our defense, which did poorly last week, but there's high expectations there. Jalen Phillips is also questionable, so that's obviously a wrinkle into it. Hopefully he ends up playing, and he's a big piece for us. And the Patriots also have 2 of their offensive tackles questionable. So lots of moving parts potentially going on the trenches of both teams. But time for the prediction. Dolphins are 1-0. I'm 1-0 this year predicting. And dating back to last year, I am 12-6 on Dolphins predictions. So that's over double right than wrong. So that's pretty good. 12-6 all time on my Dolphins predictions. So feel free to bet what I say. You'll be right more than you're wrong. Not like the minus points, just the money line. Or I don't know how betting works. I'm sorry. But my prediction is the Dolphins pick up their second win of the season and win 27-17 against the New England Patriots. Comment down below, though. What's your score prediction for the game? Appreciate you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll catch y'all.